Hi, everybody. Okay, we're here today, and the topic is how to keep your horses healthy when you're showing them. Right now, there's a bit of an outbreak going on, and there have been a lot of questions around, should we still be going to shows? What can we do to keep our horses healthy? So we just thought we would go through some of those things and remind you of some things that you can do to keep your own horses healthy, and not just healthy, not just, from contracting something that's really dangerous, but also keeping them so that they're at their peak when you are at the horse show. So you are more than welcome to leave questions as we go here. If you're watching live, you can leave your questions. If you're watching the replay, then you can definitely leave your questions as well, and we'll circle back to those. And if you're looking to find other ways to work with us, you can find all of that information on our website, which is hayescofellperformancehorses.com. You can also just reach out to us wherever you're finding us, on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. Just shoot us a message and we would be happy to get back to you. Okay, so today we are chatting about how to keep our horses healthy at the horse show. Do you want to start with your favorite tips for what to do, what not to do?
I think for me, my biggest thing is feed them better. I'm a big hay feeder. I see so many people, that say, well, my horse, I give him 2 flakes of hay morning and night at home, so that's how much I brought to the horse show. I feel like these horses are stressed. They're not at home. They're around a bunch of horses. We ride them late at night. We show them through the day. If you don't accommodate for that and get more hay in their stomach, to me, that's the biggest one right off the bat. That's something we can control so easily. We can, to me, that's the very first one, is just get those things eating more hay. We double bucket everything when we get to horse show. We feed unlimited
double
amount of
bucket
hay
for water, yeah.
For
so
water,
they have 2 buckets of water, yeah.
I'll definitely give a little more salt. But the biggest thing for me is they gotta be eating hay and they gotta stay healthy at the horse show. If you're feeding 2 flakes of hay at home when that horse is just chilling and relaxing morning and night, it won't be enough when they get to the show. We see so many people, and then they're at the horse show and the horse loses a little weight every horse show. They don't have to. They feed them. To me, that's the biggest one.
Yeah, like the biggest thing that your horse is at risk of as soon as you change up their routine at all is ulcers, right? And at the horse show, unfortunately, we're not able to have our horses turned out as much as they would be at home. Even if you're setting up, like I know some people set up little pens and stuff and try to get the horses out. Your horse, the biggest thing that your horse is going to be facing when you change up their routine is ulcers. So for sure, making sure that they have lots and lots of fiber in front of them, lots of forage in front of them all the time is going to make a huge difference. And that's also going to help support their immune health, right? So aside from, concerns about outbreaks and things, not aside, I guess it's all together, but just make sure that you have enough feed for your horse to be munching all the time. That's super, super important. And then, like you said, we have 2 buckets. We keep 2 buckets of water so that they always have lots of water in front of them. We keep the hay cubes in front of them all the time so that they have lots and lots to chew on. If you haven't heard about the hay cubes that we're using, then you can have a look back at our previous video about hay cubes and kind of how we use those. But keeping the hay cubes in front of them, a hay bag additionally, and then keeping things separate. I think that's probably a whole topic on its own about all the things you can do to, just minimize the transmission of anything, right? Where we're using our own buckets,
Now we're talking about airborne diseases and stuff like that, though.
This wouldn't be airborne. They'd be touching the same surface. But yeah.
Contagious diseases, the first one is more what we can do to keep them healthy in their bellies and that way.
Yeah.
This one is more Yeah, like we get to shows and we see everybody, you know, they're visiting with their friends, they're letting their horses visit.
Yeah.
My God, don't let them do that.
Don't let them nose up.
I mean, we're at a horse show right now. You know, there's horses here from I don't know how many different states and provinces. You know, everybody wants to protect their own horses. Nobody's offended by it. You know, it's not cute when your horse noses up to one of ours. You know, you got to keep them separate.
So things you can do to support that, you know, when you put your stall request in, you can request an end stall. If you buy a tack stall, like we're standing right now in our tack stall, that separates our group of horses from another group of horses. So there's actually that, you know, buffer. They're not nosing up to each other. Unfortunately, at this show, it's just bars. They're just separated by bars, so they can nose up to each other. So in this case, we have the tack stalls kind of separating those. But even if you don't have that option, another good thing to keep in mind, and this is just for the horse's mental health too, I guess, of not getting them fighting, but feed them in the opposite side from the strange horses. Feed them, like set up their hay bag or set up their cubes or however it is, throwing hay in on the ground, whatever it is, throw it down in the opposite side from a strange horse, basically. Water buckets and stuff too. If they're nosing up and slop and stuff, that's going to be a good opportunity for transmission.
I think water buckets is kind of what everybody forgets. We see it. You know, everybody will grab the hose with the water spigot.
Yeah, the hose.
And one person will hose theirs out, have it sitting in the water bucket. Next person comes over and puts it in there. Hold the hose up. You know, just don't touch it.
Or yeah, take the hose and stick it in your water and the next horse's water and the next horse's water. Yeah.
You know, we get doing a lot of things and it's convenient for us. But, you know, I think for overall health, you know, keep them segregated as much as possible. Another one, too, that I think we always kind of forget when we're talking about show horses is talk to your vet about what's out there, what's going around.
What they should be vaccinated for, yeah.
You know, that's a big one. You know, if there is certain things going around, you can kind of counteract that a little bit. If you're going on a long trip, you know, maybe your horse needs a like an iron booster or an immune booster before it goes. You know, we had one last year that we, you know, she got a little down on us after we took her on a long trip, and it sure hurt my feelings because she wasn't as peak as could have been, and she was an awful special mare for us. You know, and we had
well, and that's like kind of as far as your horse getting sick at a show, that's like kind of the best case scenario where like she was mildly sick at the show and it was just unfortunate timing. The other side of that is them getting very sick and, you know.
Yeah, she was a baby and
not just, you know, that horse show.
Wasn't used to being out as much. But and then I think another one that me and Lindsay talk about all the time is, you know, certain people get kind of famous for bringing sick horses. I shouldn't say famous for bringing them to shows, but you know they're not staying home if they got sick horses at home. And nothing drives me up a wall quicker. You know, so you gotta stay home from a horse show. Big deal. It's one horse show. You know, don't get everybody else sick.
Yeah, we were talking about this actually just before we came on live, and how you want to make sure that you are not patient zero. You know, like, I think a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to go to the horse show and for my horse to get sick, but then they ignore that, you know, their horse has a little bit of a runny nose or the horse has been acting a little bit off their feed. Like,
and then it gets worse when you haul it there because it's stressed.
And then it gets other horses sick, and then at a horse show, it's, you know, it can be very, very quick to spread. So make sure that your own horse is healthy before you leave. Don't put it in a horse trailer with other horses that are unhealthy, you know. And if you happen to come in contact with something, which is inevitable, then do your due diligence and isolate that horse, isolate the equipment, try to figure out if you can what it is that they have and what you need to do to protect other horses, because that's just so unfair to, you know, to risk other horses' health and safety and you know, for us, it's our business. If horses in our barn all come down with a sickness, then that also affects our livelihood. So it's pretty serious. You know, we take it pretty seriously. And I think it's a major consideration when we consider what horse shows we want to go to. You know, some horse shows like this one, everything is power washed down and really, really clean. I don't know if they disinfect it or not, but everything is really, really clean when we come in here. We also have big doors. Like I don't know if you can see how high the ceilings are in here, but the ceilings are pretty high. There's big doors everywhere. There's big doors all the way around the whole building. So there's tons and tons of airflow. And there's over 400 stalls at this show. They're more than that now. They just added a new building. I think, yeah, there used to be 400. I think there may even be more than 400 stalls, and it's not all in one building. There's kind of like the barn that we're in, and then there's another barn, and then there's, you know, a few more barns. So in that way, it's kind of nice where even though this is a fairly big barn with, you know, a lot of horses in it, it does feel like there's a bunch of separate barns to kind of keep things separate a little bit. So, you know, just being, as far as you guys go, just making sure that you're considering the health of your horse going into it, and then the facility management and the show management, and what are they doing to keep the facility clean, but also when there's an outbreak or when there's something going on, what are they doing to protect from horses coming in that are infected? And in this case, there were some rules kind of put in place to avoid having horses come from the NRBC, where there were just some proven cases of equine herpes. There were some rules that were put in place to make sure that those horses were not coming to this show. That doesn't mean that horses at this show may not have it, because I'm sure the NRBC was not patient zero. It's, you know, it's always around, but I think those things go a long way. That facility management and putting those rules in place, they really go a long way in helping make sure that everybody's kind of being responsible and taking care of the horses.
Yeah, and I think, and there's nothing wrong. Like, nobody will get mad at. We've been at lots of horse shows where somebody has a horse get sick, and there's different types of sicknesses too. There's stuff that's contagious and stuff that is just that horse, you know, being a little down. But if you have one that's contagious and somebody tells me, well, my horse got sick, you know, so on Sunday night I'll leave here, and I'm thinking, you're going to stay here for 3 days, you know, get them out now.
With your horse coughing and, you know, whatever. Yeah.
We've had horses at shows, it happens. Mm-hmm. You know, we just get them out of there, get them where they need to go. You know, don't be that person that sticks around and risks other people's horses' health. There's too much money involved. Yeah. And it's not the money at the show, that's minimal, but their health is more important than whether or not, you know, you got to run one run, or, you know, we hear that all the time about, well, it's, you know, we've already entered. We've already
entered. Ooh.
You know,
we already came all this way or whatever.
It's so important that you take care of everything. Like, you take care of the whole herd, you know, which is the whole show.
Yeah, which is other people's horses.
Hey,
you have to care about other people's horses too. Yeah.
Yeah, and with everything going around right now, there's definitely, and there's going to be a lot of talk in the next month. You know, that herpes one is so contagious. Mm-hmm. And I haven't read up on it a lot. The one thing I did read up on it is it has a huge death rate to it. You know, the one thing I was reading is they were hinting more towards a 50-50 chance once they get it. You know, that's pretty scary. So, I mean, definitely, you know, have your horses healthy and know what's around there. You know, a lot of the shows that we go to, I actually feel better at the bigger shows. I know the NRBC had one or had some cases, but that's out of how many horses. It usually scares me more going to the smaller shows where a lot of people don't care as much. you know, I feel safer going to the larger shows. Now they're going to have some coughs, they're going to have some snotty noses, but you know, the major stuff's going to be taken care of.
Yeah, like some coughing from all fresh, dusty shavings, or, you know, some hives or some allergies and, you know, stuff like that. That's a little bit different. I think it's really important to have a thermometer in your, you know, in your grooming caddy or whatever it is that you bring to the horse show, so that you can be checking temperatures. Because if your horse has a temperature, then that's something that you need to, you know, considered differently than just a little bit of a, you know, dry cough or something from some fresh bedding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot to it.
There is a lot to it. I know somebody is going to ask about disinfectants. There are some good agricultural disinfectants that you can get. We had one. We actually have one that we've used for years, but we used it heavily during COVID. And it has like a backpack, like it's like a sprayer with a backpack, and you can just do your whole barn very quickly and very easily with it, and it's safe for the horses. So that's something that you could consider if you're, you know.
We use the backpack because we do it in such large
We use
scale.
the backpack because we do, yeah.
You can buy little, like
Little
1
spray.
gallon handheld
Yeah.
pumps that are a lot easier than a spray bottle.
But it is handy to have that backpack thing, go through the whole barn, go through the horse trailer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We did tack even for a little while there, you know, during COVID when we weren't sure
Well, even aside from COVID,
how it
we
was
do
all
it.
going to work, but
Like I'll clean out one barn every once in a while, especially if we have horses at a show.
Yeah.
We'll clean out one barn, spray it with the disinfectant, put lime down on the floors, and then I close up all the doors for a few days. And then we just kind of rotate around as the year goes on. We try to do each barn a couple times a year.
Yeah.
Just because we have a large number of horses in and out.
yeah.
You know, and we definitely, compared to most farms, have a very large in and out group between clinics and lessons and just the sheer number
Horse
of horses
shows.
that swap over.
Yeah.
So we look at that as, what's that old ounce of prevention is a pound of cure or something?
I don't know, but that sounds good to me.
I forget what the old expression is, but,
Yeah.
you know, take care before you get stuff sick.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how much healthier they are. You know, we have to watch it at our place. We have our training horses. We have mares and foals and young horses. So, I mean, we're obviously, and it's aside from them being, you know, horses and you need to take care of them, there's a huge financial risk to us if we get horses sick. You know, being our business is affected. You know, if we get certain things, we can't bring horses in and out, and we do. We just shut it down. We just tell everybody, hey,
Yeah.
you know, we're going to be 2 weeks. We're not taking horses in, or we're going to be this amount of time. And it's amazing if you shut down completely. If you do get it into your barn, you know, you just shut down completely. Don't go to a show for a couple of weeks, and you'll get over it way quicker. You just got to take care of all that.
Well, okay. I hope we answered all of those questions there. We kind of recapped that a little bit. We talked about just keeping our horses fed, lots and lots of forage in front of them to kind of prevent ulcers and just help keep the immune system really well supported, because they are going to come in contact with things. Keeping things separate as much as possible. We talked about the facility management, the show management. We talked about making sure that you are not bringing something to the show, or that if your horse gets sick, that you're taking it really seriously so that you don't spread it. Keeping a thermometer in with your show stuff. Anything else that you thought was really pertinent for people to take away?
Know your horses. If they feel off, start checking them. You know,
Yeah.
ask a vet. You know that horse if he just feels off. You know, look at his gums, look at his, and then feel them. You know, they'll just like a person. You know, when I'm not feeling good, I'm not my sunny personality self. I'm not sure nobody ever told you that. But, you know, it's just a matter of knowing your horses.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I would like to say too that anybody, as we're talking about doing this and that, if anybody feels called out because of something that I said today, I don't care.
I missed that. What was that?
anybody that feels called out because I said something.
Oh yeah. If you think
Tough.
you're being called out, you probably are.
Yeah, tough.
Yeah.
My horses are more important. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's serious. Something serious, you know. You
And,
gotta have your
there's some that
priorities
are way
right.
more serious than others. Like this deal with the herpes, that deal's serious.
Yeah.
And actually, a good friend of ours didn't come to this horse show. They were concerned
Yeah.
about it. Cool, you know, fine.
Yeah.
You know, if you're unsure, don't go. Cool with that. Like we came, we knew, we assessed the risk. I guess that's what we say it. We figured out what the show committee did and what we did, and that's something you just look. We have the girls here at the horse show, so we have our entertainment. So yeah, like those are the big things for the overview, is just know your horses, take care of them, and when in doubt, you know, ask people, and
Yeah.
don't do the quiet thing. You know, they don't want to ask people because what if somebody knows my horse is sick? Ask the right people, ask the vets, ask those people, and you'll be fine. There's no
And
vet
then
that's
don't
gonna
panic. Yeah, don't panic. Just try to stay cool, figure it out. You know, if you do those things, then you've done everything you can do, and that's all you can do.
Nobody will get mad at you for having a sick horse. They get mad at you for keeping it
Yeah.
there and doing something silly after. Everybody has had sick. If you show horses, you have had a sick horse.
Yeah.
It's handling it properly, getting the right information, and doing everybody a favor with it.
Okay, if you guys have further questions, you are welcome to leave those for us, and we will circle back and get to those. Like I said, all of our information can be found on our website, Hayes Cofell Performance Horses, and we will see you again next week on Thursday at noon to answer more questions that are sent in by you guys. If you have a question or a topic that you'd like to suggest, you can send that in to us. You can just reply in the comments here, or you can send it in to us at our email, which is hayescofellph@gmail.com. Thank you for being here with us, guys.
Have a good day.
Bye.